he does like the professional thing where he can sing beautifully, and then I'll just kind of like cry about something loudly, and that's kind of how it comes together.
The secret sauce.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like it could be a band. Like it's a perfect sort of blend of the two of you. But then there's little threads of like, oh, that is reminiscent of Heaven, or that's reminiscent of
Yeah. Lyrically, he did very well with the whole fucking reminiscence thing. It fits so well.
What blew my mind was in last year in 2024, I watched them support North Lane on the North America tour they did, and I was just blown away.
We're here on a tour bus of the Bloom in Heaven tour. Silent Planet and Invent Animate co-headlining a tour across North America. And also we have Allt and 156 Silence on the tour as well. And we're fortunate enough to have some time here, along with my friend METALBIRB, with Marcus and Garrett from the bands, to talk about this tour. Now, when did the first kernel of idea happen, if you remember between yourselves? Like, should we do an EP together or tour together? How did it start?
I drank too much coffee. I was in Pasadena, California, and I was waiting for my homie Mike to get off work, and I was like walking around, I was passing the Target, specifically on Colorado Boulevard, and I was like, yo, Caleb, our band should headline. And I sent that text, and then immediately after I was like, and we should do like some songs too, because
I think it was one song.
Yeah, I think I was like one, maybe two. Yeah, definitely. I figured we'd probably only be able to pull off one song, and yeah, that's kind of how it started. I've seen the incredible growth of Invent Animate. Obviously, I think Heavener is truly a great album, and seeing the growth that they've had, and we were actually with them when they released Heavener. We were together in Europe. We were both supporting Era in 2023. I remember we were in Birmingham when you dropped with Without a Whisper, which is still like my all-time favorite song.
Yeah.
I love it. And last night, by the way, the crowd singing that was crazy, insane.
It was loud.
But it was, so I just, I mean, we've been friends for a long time, but seeing their growth is like, oh, cool, not only are we friends, we can actually like piece something together now that it feels like our bands are kind of at a similar stage, I guess, of our careers. And so, yeah, I think that's how it was born. We wanted to play a lot of cities that our respective headliners didn't, because we did a Super Bloom headliner, they did a Heavener headliner, but I think we left a lot on the table. So yeah, the co-headliner, the goal is to play places we haven't played. We have played some cities that we did play as well, but yeah.
Yeah, you can really tell because the crowd just goes fucking nuts on those cities. But yeah, we're definitely like picking off some places we haven't actually headlined before, which is so sick. And we've only done one headline. How many headliners have you done?
We've done a few.
Yeah, because we were on, was Trilogy Tour your first?
Yeah,
one?
that was our third. We took Invent Animate out on tour in 2020. February going into March.
Yeah, it was like when in 2020.
Yeah, literally it ended with the pandemic.
Right.
We were able to finish about 75% of it, and then Marcus had to go home a couple days early because Sweden was shutting down.
Europe was shutting down.
Yeah, Europe was a whole shutting down.
Yeah. Once it hit Italy, everyone's like, oh, wait, we might have to stop doing
things. When I landed at Schiphol in Amsterdam, ghost town. Only people in like full body suits, and like I got triple checked, and they had to escort me through the airport. I didn't see a single person but myself and the people who worked there. It was
a wild time,
weird time.
It was, and we were like, it was weird because like I remember we were doing that tour together, and so we called it the Trilogy Tour. It was us, Currents, Invent Animate, and Greyhaven, and throughout that tour, like random people kept getting sick, like with this weird sickness we didn't know, which now we know was COVID.
Yeah, I skipped 2 shows.
And I remember being like Philly, and someone's like, "Oh, someone said on social media, my parents don't want me to go to this show because COVID." And I was like, "Oh, that thing that's happening in China." I didn't even know. Like, I wasn't paying attention to the news at the time. I was like, I didn't even know it was like in the United States, let alone like making people concerned. And it's just weird how reality can shift. Like from a week, it was like, oh, that's like a far off thing to the tour was shutting down. But so I think that we played our last shows together, and but I think that also really strengthened our friendship because that was the first time that we had toured together.
Have you seen each other since then on tour, like in live? Because I'm kind of wondering whether, having known each other for so long and seen each other's bands, what you might have noticed on this tour that you're each doing a little differently in terms of your performances, or is there anything that you've been like, oh, they've stepped up a game in a certain...
Oh, what blew my mind was in last year, in 2024, I watched them support Northlane on the North America tour they did. And I was just blown away, like, by the steps Invent Animate had taken. It just really felt like they were ready to headline, you know. And I think that was even, you know, part of what encouraged this. All of my respective bandmates caught that tour on different legs of it, and we're just like...
Yeah, that was the first tour where we really felt locked in for the first time since I joined. And that was cool. But also, like, seeing Silent Planet every night, it just feels like, oh, we gotta go more crazy on stage.
It's intense. You both put on some pretty intense live shows. How do you rehearse for... Because I understand you've got the EP, you've done joint songs on that. I understand you're going to play one or two of them live.
Yeah, we're playing two of them,
How do you rehearse that when you have limited time with each other, presumably, to do that? How do you do prep going like, yeah, we'll be ready for live on these songs?
Kind of spend so much time recording it that it just gets in your head.
Right.
But we did rehearse it a couple of times during production rehearsals together, individually. I've been practicing the songs a lot.
Are you splitting it across each other set? Or
yeah,
is it
they're playing one song, we're playing one song.
Yeah.
And then we do a feature for that. So him and Mitch comes up for All the Light Is Gone, and I come up for Return to One.
All the Light Is Gone was definitely Marcus's baby on the EP. Like
I love that song.
like right when we got to KC and went over to the Caleb's house, Marcus was in that other room working on that, and I sort of took the reins for the lyrics of the other two songs, Armageddon Eyes and Return to One. But it's fun. It's fun how we've been able to incorporate them.
Yeah, every night when we, like, if we're playing and Mitch comes up on stage and then you come up on stage, just people go fucking crazy.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
It works so well. We were commenting, I think, on the Metal Roundup podcast that we do, that, like, it almost sounds like it could be a band. Like, it's a perfect sort of blend of the two of you. But then there's little threads of, like, oh, that is reminiscent of Heaven, or that's reminiscent of...
Yeah, lyrically he did very well with the whole fucking reminiscence thing. It fits so well. But yeah, it does feel like this mesh of two bands just going at it. I really like that, because I always think about the one that Northlane did with In Heart's Wake.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Equinox or whatever.
I think it was In Heart's Wake. Yeah,
because that one also felt like a new band in a way. So it was a great idea. We copied them.
I think in, like, the hip hop space you see a lot more of this collaboration.
Yeah.
I think it's I think part of the reason you don't see as much of it in metal is to really collaborate bands that's a lot more, because it's not like you have a beat and, like, hey, you take a verse, I'll take a verse.
Yeah.
It's more like, oh, like, how is this drum fill gonna go? Like, when you really get into the minutia, it just takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say, like, why don't more metal bands do it? That being said, I do think more metal bands should do it or could do it. But I think that we're also aware of the, like, logistical reasons why you don't see it very often.
And as a fan, I feel like there's, like, a sense of unity or community too when you see your favorite bands collaborating too.
Yeah, it's like, because if you do it two bands, a lot of times there's a lot of cooks in that band.
Yeah.
And you gotta throw all the cooks in that kitchen, and it's just a whole, everybody gotta travel at the same place, and I think that's why most bands don't do it.
Yeah, it's challenging.
Because we really got together, all of us, not all of us, but the songwriters of the two respective bands. And
went to Kansas City and pumped out 3 songs in
it was fun.
3 days.
I loved recording him and Mitch. That was so much.
That was another thing. He recorded all the vocals. So Marcus is really good at recording and understands that. I don't at all. I'm just kind of a caveman, so
I find that hard to believe.
He was recording, and I'm like, and I was like, how's that one? And it's fun too, because, like, our voices and your screams are somewhat different, so it's fun to just kind of talk about how we do things.
Yeah, it was. I had to take a lot of decisions within the songs to actually make it happen, because on time schedule and all that. But when I was home and I was actually sitting and like editing everything that was recorded, I'm like, this is sick. It sounds cool. There's a couple of screams that Garrett did in that every time I hear it, I'm like, oh.
Oh yeah.
Just panic, pure panic.
The way Armageddon ends, it's just like, oh.
Yeah, that song's insane.
Yeah, I kept saying it to him when we recorded, like, just fucking just panic. I need it to sound like we're actually screaming both of us.
I like to joke, but it's not even really a joke. I like to tell people at the VIP that I'm like, he does like the professional thing where he can sing beautifully, and then I'll just kind of like cry about something loudly. And that's kind of how it comes together.
Secret sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that if you're gonna scream on a song, it has to sound like you're fucking screaming.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
has to have the raw emotion. Like Poppy is a good example. Like she sounds like she's fucking insane.
It sounds like it is
Yeah.
not sustainable, but
Yeah.
yet you find a way to make it sustainable. That's the gold.
That idea came from
Yeah.
when I heard "Oh Sleeper" for the first time.
Oh, great band.
Because I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I want to sound like that right now. So I was like, okay. And that was around the time when we started doing the deluxe songs for Heavener. So I changed up the screaming a little bit on Sleepless Deathbed. And I was like, I'm gonna go crazy on this, and people seem to like, oh shit, he's doing something different now. And I'm like, yes, I'm really trying. But like the emotion of a scream is way more important than the actual tone.
Yeah.
I feel like
Otherwise,
why
why are you screaming?
That's why you have bands like Knock Loose. He's fucking insane.
Even like Loud as
Yeah.
Butte,
Yeah.
which is like more post-hardcore, but it's so
Yeah.
emotional the way he delivers his
it's
lines.
just
you know?
pure emotion. And yeah, Poppy for sure, like just emotion. And I think that's what it's all about. And Garrett does that very well, especially on, I think it's Armageddon Eyes, you do a scream that's like, oof, that's really cool.
Just lose my voice.
But then for this tour in particular, I saw a kind of teaser of it saying you're planning to play 2 albums in full. What were the challenges approaching that? And I understand from previous set lists, you're not doing it like start to finish kind of thing. You're sort of...
You guys are kind of doing that.
Well, yeah, like so it is in order of the album, but we splice older songs into it.
Yeah.
So like we start with Offworlder from Super Bloom, then we play Panopticon next, and then we go back and play Euphoria or Collider, and we kind of, I've actually got that wrong, but yeah, we just sort of throw some of our older catalog in. I think there's just a few songs like Panic Room, Trilogy. There's certain songs that I just like. I feel like will always be part of our set because of whether it's the message or what it sort of communicates. You know, like is important to us, that as we move forward with different sounds that we retain some of that.
I think Trilogy specifically leveled up your band so much.
That song's insane.
Yeah, that song.
That's when we toured together, Trilogy.
yeah.
That was-
When that song dropped, I'm like, oh, this is sounding fun. Oh my god, this sounded great. But yeah, we don't play it in order. Soon, because I'm usually the one that kind of plans it, or at least initially plans what songs to play. And I looked at it, I'm like, this is not gonna flow very well in a live situation. On the album itself, it makes sense, but we want to start the song with something obnoxious. So we started with False Meridian, and then I want to go into a song that starts immediately, Shade Astray, and then we want to end it on Immolation of Night, no matter what, because that is the heaviest, the stupidest song we have. So we want to end it. We don't want to end it on like a massive song. Like you kind of do the same. Trilogy is a fucking fast song, and it's heavy, and it's like it has the moment at the end. So we just want to do that as well, pretty much.
Yeah.
And we're not throwing in too many extra songs because our album is a little longer than yours. So we're playing Heavener off the deluxe, obviously, and. Yes, and all the
Otherwise Gone, yeah.
gone. So not a whole lot of old stuff on this tour, unfortunately. So we promised to play the full album. That's what it's gonna be like, unfortunately. But yeah, it's been going great with the flow of the set. Both of our sets just feels perfect, I would say. There's like one song I would switch out, but it really doesn't matter. But
Is there anything you've changed over the course of the tour? That at this first gig you were doing things a certain way, and then now you're like, actually, I'm seeing that verse a different way, and I want to deliver it a different way. Has anything developed over time, or are you pretty much executing the same kind of set expression each time?
It changes for me, for sure.
you guys have been changing songs a little bit, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Like when we're in New Mexico, we always play our song, like one of our oldest songs, Native Blood.
Right.
just there's a lot of indigenous kids there. There's some dudes and some gals I know who make like a 3-4 hour drive from reservation land, you know, to be there. And so yeah, like I think there's pockets of the world where, or like if we're in France, we gotta play Tiny Hands Au Revoir, you know.
Yeah.
There's just certain pockets of the world where like I think just we've been doing this for a long time. We have like some older stuff in our catalog that feels like it's right to come back around.
It has
you know?
its place.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do that. We haven't changed anything. It's the exact same as when we started, unfortunately. We do change like the way we behave on stage, obviously.
That is part of it.
Yes.
But also, you don't have to say unfortunately. It's not a good or bad thing. It's just interesting.
Yeah, some nights you have like a more chill crowd, and then we just do stupid shit on stage to have fun.
Yeah.
Because as soon as now I wouldn't say bored, but when it gets too slow, in a way, because in the middle of a set we have like 3 kind of softer songs in a row, and it can get slow if they don't sing along or if they're not vibing enough. So we just started doing like rock paper scissors on stage, weird shit. So yeah, but yeah, it's pretty much the same since we started. But it's a great fucking show. It's been going very well. The crowd has been absolutely fucking amazing every night.
We've had these conversations, just different members of the band, that this is the only like true co-headliner that I've ever seen or been a part of in my life, to be honest with you, where it's like both bands, like not only do the bands complement each other sonically, I've seen that before, but I think as far as just the interest of the crowd or people that want to catch the bands, it really feels like 50-50.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And it's not 50, it's not even like, obviously it's a very concentric circle, but like when we do VIP, it's like you Silent Planet shirt, Invent shirt, Silent Planet, it's just, it's cool to be doing this tour and be like, oh, we are like, just, this made a lot of sense. And it's kind of crazy how even it is. Like every time one band has a great set, then the other band does, and it feels like the crowd's really there for the whole thing, including for 156 Silence and for Allt. People are showing up, they're catching them, and those are great bands who inevitably will have amazing careers ahead of them, and great people. And so just the whole tour feel, there's a certain energy around it where it's just like people are coming early and they're staying for the whole thing, and it's fun to be a part of a tour where it feels like it's just firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, it's also nice to have other Swedish people.
Yeah, from Allt. Yeah.
We do that a lot now. I don't know, we had Aviana on the tour.
Yeah.
Throne.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we have Allt.
Swedes are killing
They're
it.
taking over. Yeah, when I saw Allt in London, it was with Imminence and Aviana. It was an all-Swedish tour in the UK.
That's crazy, actually.
Yeah.
All the boys.
Yeah.
We've always, I think Invent feels the same way. When headlining in North America, we always want to have a band out who either hasn't toured in a long time or just has never been to America, because it's so, you know, when you've done this like for the last decade, you've just been driving circles around the country. It's fun, but it's so much more fun if you can see it through new eyes. If you can be with some people from a different country who are for the first time seeing like Buc-ee's and this obnoxiously large gas station, or, you know, just the funny, goofy things of America, you know, and getting to see someone experience that is definitely like makes you appreciate the journey. So I think our goal at least, is we always want to have a band on a tour that like no one has been seen before, you know.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun seeing America through Aviana's eyes.
Yeah,
that was hilarious. Because Aviana used to be a different band when I was in it. Now it's complete all new members. And when Joel took over after me, he literally just took our friends and put it in a band, and now they're just the goofiest fucking individuals of all time. So seeing it through my friends, my in real life friends' eyes, was so much fun. Because they went too crazy with it. They're like junk food every day and just going absolutely. I know Fabian, the drummer, got like a vitamin C deficiency in the middle of the tour.
Really?
Yeah. That whole tour was crazy. The Heavener tour. Caleb fainted He fell and had to be picked up by an ambulance the first show because of the stress of being.
Oh my god!
Oh wow!
Because there's so much to it. And then Fabian fell apart one day as well because of the vitamin
That's
C
so
deficiency.
crazy.
Wow.
So but it was fun seeing it through there.
It is a marathon. You have to try and find a sustainable way to do, not just vocally, but also in everything else. I mean, this tour covering North America, there's several hour drives between cities.
And I feel bad because, so we were in South America right before this, had a great time, but I got really sick in Brazil, and I came back and I was like wearing a mask during rehearsals when we were in Austin because I was like, I don't want to get anyone on this tour sick.
Didn't work.
But sure enough, I got Marcus sick, and I'm still just hitting the nutty pot. Like I don't even know what it was, like, but we just been dealing with insane amount of mucus, and then I think at this point, every singer, actually no, I don't think anyone from 156, but pretty much everyone besides the 156 Silence folks have gotten this at some point.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I'm like, I feel kind of responsible for it because Brazilians, they go hard at shows. Like if there's 500 people in the room, there's 500 people yelling every word.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
they really. South America kind of puts the rest of the world to shame when it comes to their dedication, and it was so fun. But just going so hard with them and just like literally just hugging and crying with like so many people. The next day I woke up, I was like, I got something crazy.
Of course.
Yeah.
But it's bound to happen. Like every tour has sickness.
You always
at
get
some point
better.
in it.
Like today is the first day where I feel nothing from that sickness. I feel like completely.
Great.
Let's go.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yesterday was the first show where I'm like, okay, my voice is back completely.
That's so
I
sick.
felt
Yeah.
that.
Now, looking ahead to after this whole tour, I was wondering, when it comes to your next phase of music, are you thinking, well, that collaboration is amazing, looking to do more collaboration bits and pieces with other bands? Or are you kind of each going, that was a great moment, and from doing this tour together, I'm looking forward to doubling down on my band or your next thing? Or like, what's your creative motivation for what you're going to do next?
I think watching Silent Planet play every night, I always realize that, man, we gotta go harder on the synths and stuff. Because Mitch is just a fucking genius when it comes to just soundscaping and all that. So I think that inspires me a lot. Also, how crazy Garrett goes on stage makes me want to go crazier on stage.
That's funny. I feel the same way about you. I watched this guy.
I tried that yesterday, and after our second song, I had to like almost sit down because I was like, oh fuck.
This guy does this move. Sometimes there's a breakdown, and you spin super quick, like 5 times,
Just like
and
spin
then
kicks
he
and
stops on a dime. And I'm like, that honestly, just watching them, I'm like, I just want to keep learning how to sing. I've only a couple years ago started like attempting to sing. I'm pretty new to it, but watching this dude croon, I'm like, I wanna get better at that.
Yeah,
so.
Thank you.
That's
No,
so cool.
I think the singing we recorded in the studio for All the Light Is Gone was just flawless. It just felt easy.
It's fun. Mitch from my band, he actually starts that song because he arguably like sings the most on that song.
In some areas, he's a way better singer than I am, which is very funny. He's fucking good. Sometimes when I hear him on stage, like if I see like a live clip of him being on stage with us, like I watched it yesterday, I'm like, holy fuck, he can do that. He's just good at everything. He has some kind of part of his brain that just understands stuff, which is very funny.
He's a music nerd for sure, but he
He's very good with it.
it's fun because you'll see it with All the Light Is Gone, but it starts with Mitch, and then Marcus, and then myself, and then kind of the 3 of us to the end. So it's
very
fun.
good. No spoilers.
Yeah.
We're also here to chat about
Yeah.
because this is posterity. But yeah, I'm so looking forward to it. I mean, the lineup is special enough. All the bands, yourselves obviously, but also Allt and 156, they're such high quality caliber bands. I'm just like, I have to go 6,000 kilometers to see this gig. I think it's
Thank you.
pretty
That is quite.
Fucking
That
is
is
insane,
quite
yeah.
the sacrifice. You know, I've met a few other folks who have traveled from other countries, especially today,
There's
because
one from Portugal today.
Oh, yeah?
someone from Portugal's
Wow.
here.
Whoa,
and
okay.
It just it means the world. Like I can speak for everyone on the tour when I'm like, that level of sacrifice, it means a lot, you know, because we make sacrifices, and when you see someone, or like, you know, sometimes you'll talk to someone like, oh, I drove 7 hours to be here. I talked to someone in St. Louis who came from Alaska.
Yeah. It's cool because
It's just crazy.
I never thought I would. Yeah, here I am. Like I've just started doing this because kind of you get one ride on planet Earth. all you have are the interesting experiences you can have. It's just like,
Yeah.
I would love to know what that tour is going to be like. And it'd be a great story, like, to just do that and see what it's like. And also, Metalbirb's based in Toronto. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, we can catch up. And Orion reacts as well. And it's been.
Are we missing
great,
someone today?
Drew Fortune, yeah.
Why?
He
We tried.
doesn't listen to that motto. Yeah.
He will. He'll. I think.
Yeah, eventually.
He's feeling
He's
the burn
gonna
right
regret
now.
this.
Where's he live?
In Ireland.
Dublin.
Ireland,
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it next time.
This is like an insane tour. It's an insane opportunity because going back to the fans with you guys too is just like it's hard to meet someone who's a Silent Planet fan who's like not an Invent Anime
I'd
fan,
say.
Yeah.
and vice versa. Like both, they love both bands, and then also Allt and 156 Silence. This is like a dream lineup.
Yeah, really.
For like the metalcore community. And then what I was saying too about the sense of community and unity that you guys are kind of bringing together, and then also just being inspired by each other. Like even what you were just saying about like, oh, now I want to learn how to dance like him, or how I want to say like it's crazy. So as just like as a fan again, it's just this is a crazy opportunity. So yeah, it sucks for Drew Fortune that he can't come out.
Sorry.
Sorry, Drew. Really nailing it in there.
But yeah, it's a special thing.
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure to be part of it. So thank you as well for your time. I know it's
Oh yeah,
busy day in the rest
thank
of
you.
your later.
And
But
I wanted to mention your time with the community. You know, like 156 Silence. They've been through a lot. You know, losing your bandmate and best friend. I can't believe they're on this tour. I was like, you know, we reached out and like, hey, what do you need? Like, take all the time you need. And they felt like they wanted to do this tour to honor him because he would have wanted them to. And Lukas, his name's Lukas Booker, and Lukas Booker, he lived for this shit. I mean, they would play, you know, 156 Silence, similar to our bands, had grinded for a long time, you know, playing in small rooms and doing the DIY grind, and Lukas would always be out there moshing to every local band before them, and was just as kind-hearted, just dedicated, loved music. You know, had another project he was drumming in, just loves this music, and seeing the support people are giving 156 Silence, it shows the way that people are loving them and taking care of them, and it's just it's a beautiful thing, you know, to see the community come along. Yeah, and they are
so well.
So well.
It's fucking crazy. They're good.
So well.
yeah, I've only heard good things online about their shows and how it's going. Everyone's just in awe of them, and that album people watching is incredible.
I can't wait to see it live.
Yeah.
I saw it 3 days ago. I walked past because usually when they're playing, I recently started my warm ups and kind of walked in a room somewhere. But I walked past their show, and their singer is fucking good.
They're really good.
So good. Sounded great, actually.
That's so cool. Because he was, I interviewed him before they were touring, and he was concerned about how he's going to replicate that record live. So it's great to hear, like, it's apparently done great.
Yeah, very well.
I told myself I'm not going to listen to 156 because I want to see it live first.
Right.
And I did, and then I checked them out 2 days ago, and
It's amazing.
yeah, I mean, it sounds fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love that
And
band.
that album art too.
That's so cool.
So
Yeah,
creepy,
so-
so good.
Yeah, what's the dude's name?
Philip, I think they called him.
Philip, yeah. He's in like all the VIP photos because we always do it down
In front
at
of
the
the stage.
barricade, and they always have
Just
their
over
cabs
someone's
set up,
shoulder.
and their cabs are just a screen of Philip's face. And so it's just funny. Like, I'm seeing a lot of people posting the Invent Animate Silent Planet group photo that they're in, and they're like featuring Philip. You know?
That was cool. But yes, looking forward to the show tonight. Thank you again for your
Hey,
time.
thank you.
Best luck with the rest of it.
Thank you.
Hey, you guys.
Appreciate y'all.
Well, I'm back now in my studio in London after that whirlwind trip to Toronto. What an honor it was to have that time with both Garrett and Marcus to talk about the Bloom in Heaven EP and the tour, and also hang out with my buddy METALBIRB as well. Hopefully you enjoyed that conversation. I'll make sure to add some links in the description of this episode to those bands' socials so you can keep in touch with them in future. Also, if you have enjoyed this and you haven't yet, do make sure you subscribe to this podcast. There's more great interviews coming up at some point in the near future as well. Thank you for tuning into this. Do come back and enjoy another one of these very soon.